This is a fan-requested comparison between Dexter Jackson and his 2008 version, and of course his most recent rendition, and perhaps his last rendition, the 2020 Arnold Classic. Now, why do I say that? Well, if the 2020 Mr. Olympia, if that event is canceled, then, well, Dexter Jackson may never compete again. But either way, guys, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 2008, one of his, if not his best versions. Now, I got the comment, or a couple of requests, 3 in a row, actually. I guess the fan made sure I didn't miss it. He claimed that the legs were just as good, were just as big, and I have to say, that is the first thing that I noticed. His legs are maybe even bigger. Not quite as cut, I don't think, the detail, but my soul, the guy's 50 years old. 51? 50 plus? Upper body's just as good, almost. Except for the arms, nowhere near as large. They look maybe even more cut, harder and grainier, but nowhere near. When you look at the forearms especially, you gotta think, this is a young man versus, well, an older gentleman, even though it is the same guy. But I wager to say this is a phenomenal job that Dexter Jackson is doing, keeping up with himself, that is. The front lat spread, basically the same thing. His legs, guys, I cannot believe they are basically the same size. His chest, of course, smaller, and the arms smaller, but just as, if not more detailed. The waistline looks a lot smaller here for the 2008, but he is tilted thusly, and then of course it does take away size, so it is an advantage, I think. But having said that, we're not really judging this one per se, we're just seeing the differences and seeing how incredible this is, just how he kept up through the years. Side chest shot, perhaps Dexter Jackson's best pose, if not one of his back shots. But this one here really screams Dexter the Blade Jackson, and I cannot believe he not only kept up with this shot, but when you look at the lag development, might even be defeating his former self. Yes, the camera angle is tilted a whole lot different, so you can't really make an exact decision, but you look at the delts, you look at the pecs, his conditioning, top plus 2020, and like I said, the lags, the cuts in the lags are better. Hanging hamstring more prominent. Just unreal. Dexter the Blade Jackson, he is the greatest of all time. Now, there is no side tricep, so we'll hop right into these. This is the rear lat spread. And the lats themselves, they are bigger when you look at the lower lat insertions of 2020, and that is unreal. The lats themselves are just, they look bigger and better. Of course, you look at the lower back and the conditioning, it is tighter, of course, for the 2008. I mean, like I said earlier, this is a young man here going against a 51-year-old man. Hamstrings, glutes, things of that nature, tighter for the 2008. But like I said, that is phenomenal that he was able to improve on the back development. He is posing, of course, different, so his traps will look bigger for 2008. He's holding his head down. He's crouching. That's why I guess I made the 2020 appear a little bit taller. But having said that, I don't think there's any bodybuilder in history that could pull this one off. Just unreal. Rear double bicep. Now this time, the lower back actually looks very good in the 2020 version. This is a competitive shot. The legs are just as big. Unreal, guys. Dexter the Blade Jackson. Let us hope that if the Mr. Olympia event is canceled in 2020, I never really thought about that too much, but Dexter Jackson, if it is canceled, let's just hope that he competes in 2021. I think he could pull it off, but I mean, I would be upset if I was Dexter Jackson. You're planning on making this your last year. You know, Father Time is going to creep up on you eventually. Hasn't yet, but I'm telling you right now, it's an onion in the ointment for this guy to have all these cancellations. And I mean, he was on fire. You can see here, just unreal. This back shot, it's probably beating the Mr. Olympia if you exclude the arms. Of course, the arms are going to be bigger and more robust. Ab and thigh shot. This one here. This is probably the only one that shows signs of wear and tear. You can see the abs. Not so much a terrible waistline now. It's a small waistline. Smooth, a little bit too smooth. But look at the 2008 abs of Dexter Jackson. This couple of years there, when he first started to do the Olympias, up until obviously 2008, maybe even 2009, Dexter the Blade Jackson, he was the Blade. Look at these abs, deeply cut, just slabs of beef. You really can't tell that the guy ate bacon every night. And he did. He had some bacon with his eggs before bed. Anyway, I don't want to get into his dieting. The most muscular, it cannot be judged. There's just no way this can be judged. He's snapping it different. He really improved on the way he hit this shot, I think. 2020, he's taking the younger version to school here, just by the way he is posing. I'm sure the 2008 had the capabilities of a victory in this one, but nothing doing, guys. 2020 Dexter Jackson, 51 years old, representing his own physique like nobody else could. And I'm telling you right now, guys, if he does compete at the 2000 Mr. Olympia, he could win. He could win the whole show. You never know. And if he doesn't, he's going to place high. But if that darn cancellation happens, wow. We can expect to see this man in 2021, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this little fan-requested comparison. I hope the guilty party comes forth. Let me know if it was you that requested this, and if I see it, I will pin the comment to the top. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great one, guys.